Now we're getting information that the U.S. President Donald Trump has defended Saudi Crown Prince. Now, important information we're getting at this hour as the U.S. President has defended the Saudi Crown Prince over journalist Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Now, the U.S. President Donald Trump has said that Khashoggi was an extremely controversial man, and he's also maintained that the Crown Prince must not be questioned on it as he is a guest at the White House. Important information we're tracking at this hour. Those are pictures of Jamal Khashoggi on your screens at the bottom. Important to understand that Khashoggi was killed in a rogue operation. Meanwhile, listen in to what the US President Donald Trump had to say on Jamal Khashoggi and the Crown Prince.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office.
Who are you with?
Why should Americans trust
Who are you with?
And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the
But the
worst.
question is
One of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. Nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Well, on this, my colleague Vishal Vivek joining us on the telecast. Now, Vishal, the US President has not just contradicted what his own intelligence maintained on Khashoggi's murder, he's also jumped in fact, to defend the Crown Prince. Of course, we know that evidence suggests that Khashoggi's fiancée kept waiting outside the Saudi consulate in Turkey, and the journalist never made it out alive. What is the latest that you're getting on this story?
This is one of the biggest reversals from the U.S. Foreign policy in the last few years, because it was the U.S. Intelligence Committee itself that had concluded 4 years ago, back in 2021, that Khashoggi had been killed at the behest of the Crown Prince MBS, and there was ample evidence to zero in on that point, because as you mentioned rightly, he was seen clearly entering the Saudi consulate in Turkey, and there was this elaborate operation to tail him, to follow him, and many Saudi intelligence agents were already waiting inside for him, and then he was brutally killed, and his body was even dismembered so that his family could not find him. It was a brutal case, and there was clear evidence that there was an involvement of MBS, and the fact that the US administration now, Trump himself, is jumping to his defense is quite surprising. So it will have to be seen how the others in the US administration talk about this.
Vishal, you rightly mentioned, we'll have to see how the US administration responds to this, given the fact that, you've called him controversial and spoke about business interests instead. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing those details with us.